What if everything you're trying to fix out there isn't the real issue at all? What if the delay, the frustration, the same patterns on repeat aren't problems with your circumstances, but with the state you keep showing up in? It's a hard truth to swallow, because pointing outward feels easier, safer, more logical, but it's also what's keeping your life stuck on loop. You're not broken. You're just operating from a belief system that was never really yours. The world isn't attacking you, it's mirroring you. That tension you feel, it's your inner discord, echoing through your job, your finances, your relationships. And the real shift? It doesn't start with the world changing. It starts with you becoming someone new, internally. Neville Goddard's work flips the script in the most confronting, liberating way possible. And in this video, we're going to unpack why the world isn't the villain you think it is, and how reclaiming your inner state is the most powerful thing you can do. It always seems like it's the world, doesn't it? The job that didn't work out, the person who disappointed you, the timing that wasn't right. But what if all of that, every obstacle, isn't actually the cause but the effect? Most people spend years rearranging the furniture of their lives, hoping it'll fix the feeling in the room, without realizing the discomfort is coming from within. You can tell someone's stuck by how many fingers they're pointing. If they hadn't done this, if I just had that, if the world weren't so unfair. Blame feels like control. It tricks you into thinking you're protecting yourself, when in truth you're giving your power away. Every time you blame the outer world, you delay the one shift that could truly change everything, the inner one. Neville Goddard never said, "Go fix the world." He said, "Change your assumption." That's where the real shift begins. The moment you stop blaming the mirror for what it reflects, something inside opens. And that's when the real work and the real freedom begins to reveal itself. You know that subtle frustration that creeps in, even when things seem fine on the surface. That quiet sense that something's off, like the world is out of tune with you. That feeling isn't proof that life is broken. It's a signal, a reflection of an internal disharmony that's been quietly shaping your experience from the inside out. We're taught to diagnose the outer symptoms. Maybe I need a new job, or maybe this relationship isn't it. But rarely do we stop and ask, what am I vibrating from within that keeps echoing out like this? When your thoughts say one thing, but your emotions are drenched in fear or doubt, the world will feel like it's pulling you in different directions. Because it is. Think of life like music. When your inner state is dissonant, the melody outside turns into noise. It's not about silencing the world, it's about tuning yourself. When you realign your internal frequency, the outer environment responds like an orchestra following your lead. And that shift, it sets the stage for something much deeper. Neville Goddard didn't just say your thoughts matter. He said your consciousness is the foundation of everything. What you assume to be true, what you feel to be real, becomes the mold for the life you experience. The world isn't happening to you, it's happening through you. You're not a passive observer, you're the projector. Ever notice how two people can walk into the same room and have completely different experiences? One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. The difference isn't the room, it's the lens. Your consciousness colors everything, and once you really grasp that, you stop trying to repaint the world and start adjusting the light within. This is where the law of assumption lives. It's not about repeating mantras, it's about living from a state that already holds the outcome. You don't beg for peace, you assume peace. You don't wish for abundance, you feel what it's like to already have it. That's when the world begins to bend, not by force, but by reflection. Most people don't realize they're living inside stories they didn't even write. Beliefs like "I'm not good enough" or "nothing ever works out for me" are often inherited, not chosen. And yet, these invisible scripts run the whole show. They shape how you see people, how you react, and what you expect from life. They build the walls of the box you don't know you're in. Ever met someone who always expects the worst and somehow always finds it? That's not coincidence. That's consciousness at work. When the dominant belief is lack, even abundance will feel threatening. When you believe love equals pain, healthy relationships will feel suspicious. The outer drama is often just an echo of the inner script. This is why Neville insisted that your assumptions are more powerful than your circumstances. It's not just about what you want, it's about what you believe to be true. If your inner belief is life is struggle, then even blessings will feel like battles. But here's the good news. Once you see the pattern, you're no longer trapped inside it. Here's where it gets tricky. The loop. A thought triggers an emotion. The emotion sparks a reaction. and the reaction confirms the original thought. It's a cycle, so smooth, so automatic, you don't even notice you're in it. You think people always let me down. You feel disappointed, you pull back, they feel it, and guess what? They let you down. This loop doesn't need permission. It just needs repetition. The more it runs, the more real it feels. You react the same way, get the same results, and walk away saying, "See, I knew it." But what you really knew was the pattern, not the truth. And until you interrupt the emotional rhythm, you'll keep dancing to a tune that isn't yours. Neville's genius wasn't just in recognizing the loop, but in offering a way out. You don't break the cycle by forcing the outside to change. You shift the feeling, you observe the trigger, pause the story, and choose a different emotional state, even just for a moment. That's where your power begins to return. Changing your inner state doesn't require a life overhaul. It starts with small, conscious moments. First, awareness. Catch yourself in the loop. Notice the thought, the emotion, the reflex. Don't judge it, just name it. This is fear, this is doubt, this is lack. Naming something separates you from it. It turns the fog into a form. Then comes release. Let yourself feel it without feeding it. Breathe through it. Journal it. Shake it out. It's not about pretending it's not there. It's about not building a shrine to it. Feel it, then let it pass like a wave, not a storm that takes over your house. Your emotions are messengers, not masters. Finally, replace. Not with fluffy affirmations you don't believe, but with scenes, imaginations, or memories that hold the feeling you want to live in. Picture yourself walking with peace. Imagine a moment where you felt confident, held, free. That feeling is a frequency, and when you live in it, the external world will slowly start to tune itself accordingly. Neville said it clearly, feeling is the secret. Why? Because feeling is the language the universe understands. You can say all the right words, think all the positive thoughts, but if underneath it all you feel anxious, unworthy, or doubtful, that's what's radiating. And that's what the world echoes back. Think of your inner state like a radio signal. You can't tune into joy while broadcasting frustration. You don't wait for life to be peaceful so you can feel peace. You feel peace first, and then life adjusts. This isn't magical thinking, it's magnetic alignment. The outer follows the inner, always. And when you make that internal shift, not just once, but as a new emotional home, you'll notice the world softens. People respond differently. Opportunities feel warmer. Things click with less resistance. That's not luck, that's resonance. And the more you feel the end, the more it starts showing up in the middle. Blame is seductive. It feels like a release, like offloading the tension onto something or someone else. But here's the trap. It also locks you into the very thing you want to escape. Every time you say they did this, you're also saying, I have no power here. And that belief is the real prison. Now, this isn't about ignoring the facts. Life can be unfair, people can be cruel, systems can fail. But the question isn't, is this true? It's, do I want to keep living from this place? Refocusing internally doesn't deny reality. It rewires your relationship to it. It puts your hands back on the steering wheel. When you withdraw your energy from blame and reinvest it into presence, awareness, and emotional responsibility, something shifts. You're no longer reacting to the world. You're recalibrating it. The moment you stop trying to fix the mirror and start tending to the face in front of it, the entire reflection begins to change. The changes aren't always loud. In fact, the first signs that you've shifted usually whisper. You feel calm in moments that used to unravel you. You pause before reacting. You notice you're no longer chasing closure or proof, and somehow what used to feel heavy feels lighter. Even if the outer situation hasn't changed yet, then little synchronicities begin to appear. A message at the right time. An old worry suddenly resolves itself. Someone treats you with more respect, without you demanding it. It's like life starts cooperating instead of resisting. These aren't coincidences. They're reflections of a different frequency you're now broadcasting. And perhaps most powerful of all, you begin to trust yourself. Not because everything is perfect, but because you feel steady inside the storm. You're not waiting for the world to change. You are the change. That kind of inner certainty isn't loud, but it's magnetic. It's the beginning of becoming someone new. This is where the shift becomes irreversible. When you stop outsourcing your power and start owning your role as the architect of your reality. Not in a rigid, control everything kind of way, but in a grounded, conscious, I know what I'm radiating kind of way. You stop begging life to cooperate, and start embodying the version of you who no longer needs to beg. Responsibility stops feeling heavy. It starts to feel sacred, because now you understand every assumption you hold is a blueprint, every emotion is laying bricks, every scene you dwell in is forming the walls of your next experience. You're not a victim of random events. You're the quiet builder behind the curtain, and the most beautiful part, you don't have to change the entire world, just your state, just your story, just your self-concept. From that place, reality follows. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. This is what Neville meant by living in the end. It begins the moment you do. So now the question isn't, why is this happening to me? It's, what part of me is this reflecting back? You've just seen how your inner world doesn't follow your outer circumstances. Your outer world follows your inner state. That's the key Neville gave us. Not to control the mirror, but to embody the image. So, what assumption are you living from right now? Are you dwelling in lack, or in the feeling of the end fulfilled? Are you waiting for life to change so you can feel different, or are you bold enough to feel different first? You don't have to fix everything. You just have to assume the version of you that already lives in alignment, peace, and abundance. Try it, just for today. And if this sparked something in you, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay with us. We are building a new world from the inside out.